we have another GFN Thursday amongst us with new releases all around. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, MM2K Gaming, and here CloudDosage back again with another episode of the CDO GFN Weekly Show. This is where we highlight the latest and greatest in the weekly GFN blog. And man, oh man, oh man, do we have a good show for you today. Do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please. All right, so let's get right into this one. You know how we do. First, let's go to the article courtesy of CloudDosage.com, your best place to get your latest and greatest in Cloud Dosage news. Let's go. All right, like I said, this one is titled GFN Thursday, new releases all around. Let's get into this one. This week's GFN Thursday update is an epic one. We have 11 new games coming to Geforce Now this week, all of which are day one releases. All right. So before we dive into this week's new games, however, let's talk about an epic offer. From now until July 6th, you'll be able to save 40% on a 6-month Geforce Now performance membership. What would usually cost you $49.99 quid, I believe that will be reduced down to $29.99 quid for those 6 months. The performance membership delivers up to 1440p gaming with RTX on. It also reduces queue times and allows for 6-hour game session lengths. An epic deal to either begin or level up your GeForce Now journey. But there's even more. GeForce Now comes to the Xbox PC app. Yes, you heard that right. And you may have heard some rumblings about this in the past in some supposed A/B testing. Let me give you a screenshot of what this may look like. So, day before this recording, Xbox announced an update to their Xbox gaming app on PC. If you're a Game Pass Ultimate member, you will be able to select GeForce Now as an option to play select playable games. This was a feature that Xbox initially introduced via browser, but they now rolled it out further. A fantastic quality of life update that gives gamers the option of playing games in the places and on the services they want to. All right, but that's not it. We got even more stuff coming in this forum of this week's new games. We have a fantastic list of new games coming to GeForce Now library this week. In total, we have 11 titles joining this week. Wow, 11 titles. And they are all brand new day one releases. There are some big titles in the list, including Splitgate 2, Game of Thrones, Kingsroad, and Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny, for which we have right here on CloudDosage. You can see the full list of titles coming to GeForce Now this week as below. We got Nine Kings is a new release on Steam. It's coming May 23rd. Roadcraft, a new release on Steam as of May 20th. We got Stalker Call of Pripyat Enhanced Edition, new release on Steam as of May 20th. We also got another Stalker Edition, this Clear Sky Enhanced Edition, new release on Steam as of May 20th. We got Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl Enhanced Edition, new release on Steam as of May 20th. We also got Game of Thrones Kingsroad. You should have seen some footage of that earlier. New release on Steam as of May 21st. We got Monster Train 2 coming via Steam May 21st. Blades of Fire, you would have seen that gameplay earlier as well. New release on Epic Game Store as of May 22nd. Splitgate 2 Open Beta. It's a new release on Steam via Steam on May 22nd. Survive the Fall, new release via Steam on May 22nd. And last but certainly not least, Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny, new release on Steam as of May 23rd. So there you have it, people. All the stuff coming to you via NVIDIA GeForce Now this week. Again, 11 new titles joining this week, and they're all brand new day one releases, plus some major app updates and a big time sale for those that are interested in getting into GeForce Now. So let's talk about it. What does this mean to MM2K? This is the part where I boggle down all these updates and stuff like that and give you my thoughts on it. So let's start with the GeForce Now sale. Quite honestly, I love GeForce Now for its power. It is very versatile, and I think it's the best cloud gaming service out there at all levels. There are some competitors that may rival it at lower functions, but there's nobody out there with the cloud service that rivals NVIDIA GeForce Now, in my opinion, when it comes to 4K 60 plus gaming. I mean, when it comes to high power gaming, low latency, GeForce Now destroys the competition. If you're about performance, if you want the best that you can get out of performance when it comes to your favorite games, NVIDIA GeForce Now is the place to go as far as I'm concerned when it relates to cloud gaming. Look, Game Pass, which has really been hitting some strides as of late, as far as giving you some bangers. Their games are available on GeForce Now. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best way to go. I think it's cool to try to go into the performance membership, but if you're not interested in getting into the performance membership, or if you're not interested, you can try. You can try performance and some of the other things if you're not totally sure if you want to get into GeForce Now. Yeah, if you're on the fence, sure, go ahead, try the performance membership, and you can do it at a discount. I think this particular sale is all for everybody that wants to try performance, but that not necessarily try performance, but already has it and wants to load up on some more. That's great. If you want to try it, you're less likely to pay that much to try something. I mean, it is cheap. It's coming in. I'm guessing this is. Here, let's do the currency. Let's do the currency conversion. Currency. Oh, come on. Oh, let me see here. Let me go to the actual. Let's go to GeForce Now blog. Thursday. Here it goes. It highlights it right here. Okay. So if you go to the actual blog, right, and check this out. Let's see here. Let's go. Let's see here. What's the price level up for the summer? Yeah, it's $29.99. In the States. So this is with performance. So here's the different tiers. You can join the free, get the basic rig, longest queue times. You get an hour per session. So for those of you that are not familiar with this, let me break this down to you. Yeah, free tier, you can get a rig. There's ads there. But you can play for free. So basically, if you have a PC game that's supported on GeForce Now, you can play up to an hour. You're going to get some queue times, though, because this is heavily popular for people that are playing their PC games on the go. And you're going to get ads. So, I haven't played the free tier for a while, so I don't have a bunch of information personally on how long those queues or how it works, or even the type of rig that you're getting. Check here, CloudDosage.com. Check there. Look at GeForce Now Basic. They should definitely have some information on that. And we may even do a video. It probably would suit us to do a video to talk about NVIDIA GeForce Now and all the tiers and all of this stuff. Matter of fact, I might reach out to Dr. Spaceman and see if he wants to create a video like that so we can break that down for everybody that may not be familiar. Also, what we got here? We got the performance mode, which is their entry level paid for version. I think it's $10 a month or $50 every 6 months, and you get a $10 discount if you buy it at 6 months in advance. And what you do is you get up to 1440p priority. You get RTX on, and I think this goes up to 60 frames per second. You get 60 FPS, and then it talks about the summer sale right here where you can get it at $30. And that's cool. $30 is not a lot. So if you want to try this at $30, sure. Now they do have their passes though. They do have the NVIDIA GeForce Now passes where you can like buy, I believe, a day or 7 days or whatever like that. But if you want more of a systemic try period, and you're like, hey, look, man, $30 is not a lot to give this a try. A lot of people try Game Pass and pay the $20 just to try Game Pass Ultimate. So, some people may feel free to do so at $30, fine. Or but I feel like this is more geared towards people that already are familiar with performance, like it, and want to load up on some. This is a great way to do it. But then there's the GeForce Now Ultimate, where this is the best way to game. And don't get me wrong, I love other platforms, but me personally, like the best fidelity and the best way to play in performance, I narrow it down between NVIDIA GeForce Now, and if I was going to go with hardware, I would narrow it down to the PlayStation 5 Pro. I love my Pro. Pro is excellent. I give a slight edge to NVIDIA GeForce Now because of its versatility. Basically, wherever I can load NVIDIA GeForce Now on, I can play NVIDIA GeForce Now. I can play it on my Chromebook, whatever, where, I can buy an extra $200 portal, right? And that works great as well. But it's an additional device that I have to buy. I can play NVIDIA GeForce Now on my phone. I can play it and get the same great fidelity on anything that I play it on. It's all dependent upon that device to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? To where I don't have to buy anything extra to get the same great performance. So that's what gives NVIDIA GeForce Now the edge. Now you can have the debate about, who has access to the better games because of certain exclusives, whatever. I'm not talking about games per se. I'm talking about output and performance. Again, my PlayStation 5 Pro and GeForce Now, they're very comparable as far as when you're just looking at performance. But when you look at versatility, I give the edge to GeForce Now. You know what I'm saying? Both great ways to play games. But that's why I say I feel like GeForce Now should definitely be in your portfolio, right? It's a great way to play games. But I go with Ultimate, man. You know what I'm saying? And the PlayStation 5 Pro is phenomenal. So to have something rival the Pro like this, that's in the cloud, that's sick. And I'm willing to do it. And you can do it. You get 6 months, $99, or you can do the month. Let's take a look at the month plans. Okay, so I thought this was something that would allow you to interact with it, but no, this is just a screenshot. And then they have the day passes, right? They have the day passes for the different services. Is there a link to? Yeah, I really feel like that what NVIDIA should have done is, instead of having a snippet there, that should have been a real live interactive like embed. That would have been great, because people are not going to click everywhere. Yeah, and I'm one of those people that are not going to do that because we're trying to record a video. Yeah, NVIDIA is watching, definitely. Just next time, don't do an image right there. This should be clickable right here, especially if you got all this in here. Let me click this. Let this be an embed. Anyway, so there's day passes if you want to try whatever. I really feel like that this sell on the performance mode is great if you already have the NVIDIA GeForce Now. I'm not against you trying it. I'm not recommending against it. I'm just saying that for my personal taste, and I do think that the performance mode is great. It's fantastic. It's really great. There are other services that I feel like can come close to rivaling it, depending upon certain circumstances and library. But the tier that really separates it from the pack, like tremendously separates it from the pack, is Ultimate. I recommend Ultimate all the time to any and everybody that can get it. Let's now talk about let's go back here to the actual article on CloudDosage. And let's talk about this. NVIDIA GeForce Now comes to the Xbox PC app. I think this is a cool upgrade, cool implementation. Xbox is embracing you being able to play their games and their services wherever it is allowed. As you guys should know, GeForce Now and Game Pass, I feel like, is one of the best partnerships in gaming today. And especially now, like I said, in moments like this where I can use the power of NVIDIA GeForce Now to play awesome experiences like Clear Obscure, and Atom Fall, and even the Trial Oblivion remaster or remake. You know what I'm saying? This is great. You know what I'm saying? And there may be more games that I'll be interested in down the pike. Like, well, there's Doom the Dark Ages too. Like, if I wanted to try Doom the Dark Ages, I could definitely do that via NVIDIA GeForce Now and Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? So that's just another awesome reason to have GeForce Now in your library, even if you do have Game Pass, especially if you're going to be using the cloud. Look, and here's the thing too, and now I get it. Like, now that I think about it, when you look at this sale, this $30 sale, my thoughts are, if you want to play on the go and you want to try, if you find yourself needing the cloud, significantly needing the cloud to help support the play of your Xbox library. Now, my CloudDosage colleagues are not going to agree with me on this, and that's fine. It's a diversity of thought. I think that xCloud is inferior to its competitors. But the library, the Game Pass library is cool. It's really cooking right now. And I would hate for those that may not have an Xbox, especially with the price hike of Xbox, is like, nah, I don't want to, but are interested in Game Pass titles. I'd hate for people to miss on the aforementioned games that I just mentioned, including if you want to try South of Midnight or Indiana Jones or any of those games, Stalker 2, you know what I'm saying? If you want to try any of those games, but you're like, I'm not buying an Xbox console. They're too expensive. They've priced themselves out of the market for me. That's understandable. Fine. Here's an opportunity. You can play it on the cloud without committing to a device. But if you tried Xbox Cloud, like a lot of people have, and again, like I said, my colleagues might find it great. That's fine. I in my experience, a lot of mainstream gamers who try it, it's not to their liking, right? Here's an opportunity to where, if you take advantage of this deal right here, the performance deal, you can get better performant ways in the cloud to play your Game Pass library. I highly suggest in that case, if you are someone that tethers yourself to the cloud, or you're interested in at least trying Game Pass and you're like, man, I want to. I'm not buying a console, and my experience in the cloud wasn't that great on xCloud. But man, I really like to try these Game Pass titles. I think taking advantage of the sale is something that you may want to do, right? And you may find that, hey, maybe I don't buy a console because the prices went up, but maybe if I can play my Game Pass library via NVIDIA GeForce Now, Performance, or even Ultimate, this is my ticket. There you have it. So now it makes sense to me. At first I was like, I don't know. There are a lot of people that play Performance. I'm particularly, I'm a steward of, and the performance is great. I'm a particular steward on Ultimate, but I see the vision here. You know what I mean? It makes a lot of sense. And I think a lot of people that, may want to engage with Game Pass may realize that, hey, it probably suits me more to do so through NVIDIA GeForce Now. You know what I'm saying? And Xbox isn't going to mind. You're still engaging with Game Pass. And so it works out for everybody. You know what I'm saying? As far as the games that are coming, let's talk about those. We got Nine Kings, we got Roadcraft, we got Stalker that now are available on GeForce Now. Stalker was a great series. It's a cult classic. Definitely, if you are liking Stalker 2 and you want to see their origins, definitely check out these enhanced editions of Shadow of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and Papaya. The great entries. Game of Thrones, Kingsroad. Not very familiar with that. I've seen some gameplay. Looks interesting. And I believe that the thumbnail for this article is taken from that game. If I'm looking at this accurately. So yeah, interested to try that out. Don't see anything on Metacritic as of the time of this recording on it, but hopefully that'll change. But yeah, that's something that people can check out. Monster Train 2 and Blades of Fire, right? Blades of Fire. Man, I'm hearing people say some good things about this game. They're really liking it. And then we close out with Splitgate 2, Survival to Fall, and Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny, which is a new release on Steam coming May 23rd. So yeah, overall, I think some cool experiences, some cool things happening in not with just games, but integration and sales. I think it's a solid week for NVIDIA GeForce Now. I now see the vision after talking it through with you guys. I now see the vision of what's going on with the sale and how it coincides with the new update where, now Xbox has integrated your ability to select GeForce Now if you want to play Game Pass games. I think this is excellent companion with that integration. But those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think about this week's news, the integrations, the games, all that good stuff? Because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Again, they will lead you to Hard Knock Digital Culture, which we live stream more now on Twitch. So give us a look over there if you're into hardcore AAA gaming. No filter, you know what I mean? Tuck granny in the bed, you know what I'm saying? No holds barred there, conversation with panels and stuff like that. Check us out over there and live gameplay. Also check us out on MM2K Gaming. Same thing here, no holds barred gameplay. Or you can, catch me over here on CloudDosage. Also, if you're checking me out on CloudDosage, please do yourself a huge favor. Check out V Rising. Shout out to the good people at Stunlock, Keymailer. Gave me codes for V Rising to not only review, but I got a code to give away. Yes, I got a code to give away. If you want to participate in the V Rising giveaway, I need you to comment about the video over there. And our best comments, we're going to slap onto a wheel. You know what I'm saying? We're going to slap on a wheel, because go check out the V Rising videos where I do the journals over here on CloudDosage News. We're going to grab the best comments over there. We're going to slap you on a spin wheel, and one lucky person is going to get access to V Rising with update 1.1. All right. So appreciate y'all. With that said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.